And now to this, many musicians are eager to sign with big recording companies to ultimately become a household name. But Motlapele Molemi Morule took a different turn to follow his dream. He's now ventured into farming, and his company has been supplying hospitals and prisons with produce during the COVID-19 crisis. The rapper turned farmer joins us via Zoom now from Mahikeng to talk about his venture. Molemi, you know, it's so good to realize and see that you're okay. It's been quite a while. The last time I heard anything about you was those days when we still had Wena, Duksinganga, your double HP. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. Thanks to eNCA and your viewers for inviting me over.
So now tell me a bit more about, your decision to go into farming, because a lot of people, have been asking themselves, for instance, where you've been, like I have. So to find out that you've gone into farming, what motivated that decision?
For clarity, I came into the music industry already in farming. Hence, I came in the industry with the rap name Molemi, as it is, because the ambition was always to build a food brand using music as my marketing tool, to launch the food brand through my music, which is basically what I've been able to achieve in the last 15 years or so. So I started farming with my dad on our family farm full-time in about 2003. And because I suffer a lot from sinuses and stuff, I gravitated towards vegetable production. And it seems like an easy sell in terms of being able to package it and sell it under my brand. So it has been a long journey to get to where we are now. We are not actually where we want to be, but it seems like with how the brand has been out there and how people are aware, because a lot of farmers are producing food, but it's not easy to launch yourself as a food brand, especially in our country.
Now, you've been one of the lucky farmers who's gotten to supply produce to, for instance, your hospitals during this COVID-19 pandemic. There are some farmers who are not as lucky. And actually, this week we did a story on eNCA that shows that it's mostly farmers who, do things like oranges that are doing quite well because that vitamin C is needed. What would be your motivation to farmers right now during this time?
Farmers and in a very bad position because, we are price takers. Not a lot of farmers have contracts of supply. We have to sell to a middleman or somebody with a tender to supply on that contract, not the farmer himself. So you'll find that a head of cabbage that's selling for 14 rands, 15 rands at a supermarket shelf, a farmer only gets about 6 or 7 rands for it, selling to a middleman who gets to actually do the actual supply. So food never goes out of season or out of fashion as such. So a farmer will always stay in business, but the margins are so small because the input cost of farming in terms of fertilizers, seeds, preparing soils, the machinery are so high. Yet the price we get as farmers at the market is hardly competitive. That's why we are forced to move into a vertical integration of the industry so that we occupy a bit more positions in the value chain, so that not only are we producers, but we are also processors and retailers, distributors, and like the government is actually trying to integrate us into their supply into schools, hospitals, prisons, and in that way, more of us farmers will survive. But as it is right now, the big guys swallow the small guy because the system is in such a way that only the big producers are able to survive the industry. So it's a tough time for farmers as well.
Well, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we have no more time. Thank you, Molemi, rapper and farmer, who joined us via Zoom from Mahikeng to talk about his venture.